It's time to get obtuse and kick some ass, and we're all out of ass. This is the Sounds Obtuse Podcast. I am your host, Chris. With me always is my co-host,
Dylan Carter.
How's it going, man?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize it was you at first. I thought that was Duke Nukem.
You know, I do a great Duke Nukem impression.
You do a great Duke.
Shame we couldn't get the real guy, but you know, I'll have to do.
You do great.
You ready to get obtuse?
Man, and kick some ass. How have you been?
Pretty damn good. Pretty good. Probably a little bit better than you, I'd imagine. Recording this on a Wednesday.
We are. Yeah.
I don't think we've ever recorded on a Wednesday before.
We've never recorded on a Wednesday. I feel like we almost always either record on a Thursday.
Sometimes Friday.
Yeah, sometimes we do.
I think we've done a Sunday once. It was football going.
Yeah, we're recording early because I'm going to be going under the knife tomorrow, doing a little surgery action, getting kidney stone broken up. It's going to be fun. It's really not. It's like 2 weeks of torture.
It's like a stint in the dick.
It's quite literally a stint in the dick. And boy, the surgery is nothing. Like the surgery is just like 30 minutes. I get knocked out. I get to get woke up, sent home, pain meds, sleep.
You still gotta stay there. That's nice.
I feel fine. Like once I get home and I get to sleep, I wake up. I feel fine. A little sore. Feel fine. But the fucking stint, dude, it's awful. I hate it.
That shit sounds awful.
I don't want to get.
I would hate it.
You have definitely heard the full story. I'm not going to put it over the airwaves. You can just Google what lithotripsy is and what's involved in it. And
you know, you were telling me this is pre-pod stuff. I almost actually put this as the end bit, but you were telling us when they pulled it out.
the gay ghost sound.
Yeah,
I did make a gay ghost sound. Ooh.
You should record it next time.
Dude, I told Kayla about like they gotta like literally just pull it out of me from the front door, and she's like, "Do you think they'll let me come back there and watch?" The fuck you want to watch for? Like, why is this something that interests you? I don't know. She be tripping sometimes.
I've seen animals get it done, but never a human.
I mean, if she wants to come back there and watch, I don't really care. Like, she's seen it, so.
That sounds pretty rough, dog.
Yeah, so we're here getting this done nice and early. Got to keep you all satiated.
Of course.
Got to do it for the viewers.
Of course.
What about you, though? Anything else going on with you? Anything personal? You done anything cool?
Well, a lot of me this week has been catching up on Better Call Saul. I've just been binging the hell out of it. I did like 3 seasons in less than a week. Got like a season and a half to go till Monday, the final episode. Trying to catch that live. Okay. So catch up on that. Also watched a bit of, just been watching a lot of TV recently. I went back to watching New Girl, Zooey Deschanel.
Kayla's watching that right now.
Bro, peak Zooey Deschanel. Like,
so cute, too. So cute.
That show is so goddamn adorable. I just love it. Beavis and Butthead, also, Paramount Plus.
I heard that was good.
They had 2 episodes, another one drops this week. Really funny stuff. Back in the day, they were reviewing, you know, making fun of music videos, and they're still doing that, but they're also watching YouTube videos. They're watching TikToks. So, you can imagine.
Beavis and Butthead just turned into you.
Pretty much, man.
That's what happened. Really
funny stuff. Definitely check that out. I also been playing lots of video games. I got my Steam Deck this week.
I heard.
I haven't showed it to you yet. I really should have showed you beforehand, but we're trying to get this pod done. Yeah, it's fun. I had maybe just over 24 hours at this point. But can you really beat playing like GTA 5 or God of War on the toilet? Can you?
Can you?
Don't think so.
Don't think so.
I got the premium edition. Comes with a great case. Really fun stuff. Spend all day hooking that up. Probably download some emulators soon. Maybe play some other video games from my youth. Also been fucking with Animal Crossing. Have you ever played that?
No. I mean, I tried to play it one time. I couldn't get into it.
So the one for the Switch is so much fun. It's just the most adorable little game. You're catching bugs and catching fish and giving your neighbors gifts and shit. It's so much fun.
It sounds like just such a waste to me.
It totally is. It's like The Sims, but not as much of a hassle.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying it's a waste. Like people shouldn't play it. I'm not shitting on it. To me, the kind of games that I play sound like that sounds very mundane, but it's just not what I do.
And that's what initially caught me, is that everything I do it's just been like shooters and beat 'em ups and racing, and everything's just so like, you know, full throttle.
You just want to catch some fish and give it to your neighbor.
Yeah, man. It's just so chill. It's like it's the chillest thing next to like Pokemon.
You just want to be a good Samaritan.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. You buy rugs and say, hey, you might like this rug. Like, oh my god, here's this shirt. I'm like, cool, man. I'll give this shirt to the other guy.
Who knew you could be a good Samaritan and a Semite at the same time?
It's so fun. Also, I showed you this before we got the pod. Just $5 fake lightsabers at Walmart.
They look great.
They make sounds and everything. Five shekels?
5 shekels.
5 shekels. Also, last week when I got my Cobra sword, I did want to give a special shout out because we listen to the pod. We did not even mention our friend was actually the one to have me and you.
Yes, Lady A.
Lady A, yes.
Like all expenses paid.
Got
basically.
us food.
We got
all the discounts.
Yeah, we got free food,
parking.
Yeah,
everything.
And she did it all. We sort of were excited. We started talking about Busch Gardens.
All the rides.
We didn't even give her a shout out, and that is uncouth and poor form. And we did not behave like good friends.
Nope. So shout out Lady A for
the biggest shout out. Sad that she isn't here as well.
It'd
be much better if she was over on the couch, but sadly she's not.
She'll listen to it and then she'll hopefully appreciate that.
She will hopefully appreciate that. We appreciate her.
Also learned a few fun facts I thought I'd just share this week. Are you familiar with the movie Alien?
Actually, it's so weird you're bringing this up, but yeah.
So do you know how they made like all that gooey shit in the Alien?
No.
So they used a light stick and KY jelly.
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm. That's all it takes to make Hollywood movie magic.
Well, let's get on it.
A little bit of lube and some LED lights.
I say it's kind of funny you bring that up. It's kind of related to Alien. Are you a fan of the Predator movies by chance?
Ooh, the new one just came out.
It did. Are you a fan of the series?
They're pretty cool. I mean, just today, in fact, when I saw you at work, I said, Dylan. So, of course.
Okay. So I am not. I couldn't care less about.
They're just action flicks for action flicks' sake.
Man, I saw the first one. I hate the first Predator. It's such garbage.
I saw.
It's like just like, look at these big buff men blowing up shit.
Oh yeah,
and I hate it. I hate movies like that. And I always will. Those are trash films. I don't even want to call them films. Nevertheless, I digress on shitting on Predator to praise it for just a moment. Prey, the movie, the new Predator. Oh my God, good.
Really good?
From like a cinematic level to a storytelling level to everything.
I saw one review is like, it's a perfect 7. I was like, what does that mean? Like, I haven't seen it ever. The last Predator film I fell asleep through, but I was also like heavily drunk from Dave and Buster's previously.
Get you. So yeah, so it's set during. I don't want to give any spoilers because it is a fantastic movie. It's set during. I don't actually know the time period. I would say like early colonial history. So like there's
really
so like there's French people, like French colonials, kind of hanging out
there.
Dude, it's so
the
main people are Comanche Indians.
Okay.
So it's a tribe of Comanche Indians, warrior class of people, and they're facing off against the Predator. The main protagonist is female, and she has to, overcome.
A boss bitch.
And like, dude, it's a feminist movie.
As soon as you said female lead, I knew that already.
Oh no! Like, so many movies have female leads, but this is like a directly like feminist movie. It's got a great message, but it isn't like ham-fisted down your throat. It's just there. It's just a fantastic message. Everything about it, and every single Native American is played by Native Americans. Take some notes, Chris Pratt.
Yes, if only we can get Italians played by Italians.
If only we could get some Baba da Boopy by actual Baba da Boopy people. But yeah, so I mean, I could just go on and on and on. The movie was fantastic. I dislike sci-fi. I dislike horror. I really dislike the Predator franchise in general. So glad that I watched this movie.
I might have to check that out then, especially as someone who does not like them very much.
Yeah, like it is a cut above most movies that I've seen. I also got to go to a very, I don't really know the right word for it, that doesn't start with a G and end in Edo.
I think you're looking for low income.
No. I'd say so I went to a gender reveal.
Oh.
And those are always sort of hit or miss. Essentially, nothing about this event went well. But then this guy shows up and he's like, hey, I hear you guys over here having a good time. Wanted to drop by and just say my name's Rick and I'm running for city council of Williamsburg. And then everybody was just like, fuck you, Rick. Get out of here, Rick. And I, being a gentleman and also a fan of local politics, was like, let's go take a walk, Rick. I'll listen to what you got to say. I don't want you getting run out of here.
Yeah, even if you don't.
You didn't do anything wrong. You walked up. You were nice. You announced what you're doing. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't come over here trying to ram anything down anyone's throat. So I was like, come on, Rick. We're going to go for a walk. So I walk with candidate Rick. And I asked him a very simple question, something that's on all of our minds. I said, what are you going to do to fix the transit and traffic problem here in Williamsburg? And he said, that's a fantastic question. Thank you for asking it, Dylan. And I said, you're welcome, Rick. He said, the buses here in Williamsburg just don't work. It's just not a good system. It doesn't get people where they need to be. And I agree with that. My interest, you could say, was piqued. And I said, so what do you want to do about it? And he said, I think we should get rid of them. He said,
Eradicate the buses.
He says, I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Lyft and Uber drivers. He says, I think people would be happy to pay $15 if they knew they could get across town. And I was like, so you want people every time they have to go somewhere, just a $15 bill one way? And he goes, yeah, I think that'd be a great convenience for people. So Rick's rich, just
one way, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So just like
it's like $30 a day just to get to work.
Yeah, he said maybe we can lightly subsidize it. Okay. And then he said something. It's like a cherry on the top. He said, and I'm willing to work with these people, even though they're unionizing. And I was like, well, Rick, I've never had someone say all the wrong things to me so fast.
Just to spit on your heels and bye.
You know what? You're on your own. I can't help you, Rick.
I don't know the infrastructure of a city I don't live in, but I know that shit won't work.
It's a terrible plan. All of it is a terrible plan. That's most of the personal stuff I had, though. Most of the catch-up. We do have something.
We do.
Something we've talked about before.
As featured.
Yes. What do we have, Chris? Tell us.
We have Mountain Dew Hard Seltzer. What do you think about this?
Man, let's find out.
It's here. This is the black cherry, zero sugar, by the way.
Basically, this is the Code Red.
Yeah.
Crack that boy open.
Smells like Code Red.
Does it?
I almost bought a pack of Code Red this week.
Oh, it does. It smells just like Code Red. Oh my god. I don't even like Code Red. This is gonna be bad. Nice slurp. It tastes like Code Red.
It does taste like Code Red.
It's just weird. It's like zero carbonation.
This is gonna be really weird, and this one has this flavor. You know when you walk into like a bathroom with that pink soap? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
You know exactly.
That's essentially it. That's what it tastes like. Pink soap in bathrooms.
Like that whole ambiance in can form.
I feel like, honestly, bathroom's probably the best place to drink these, because whenever you get the shits, at least you're somewhere nearby. If you're the kind of person who likes Seagram's...
It's good.
If you like Seagram's wine coolers and you also like Mountain Dew, there's literally no reason you wouldn't like this.
It's very trashy and somehow classy because it's seltzer.
Stop. You had me at trashy. You lost me at classy. There's nothing classy about... Okay, you know what? Classy with an I. Yeah, this is definitely classy with an I.
Tramp stamp.
Yep.
You know?
Yep,
for sure.
You get it?
I mean, I don't hate it. That's the thing. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I wanted to hate it. I came in here wanting to hate it. I was like, this is going to be awful. I'm ready. I hate Mountain Dew in general. I do not like Mountain Dew.
It tastes just like honestly, I can't even tell you it's alcoholic.
I think it tastes more like Mountain Dew than Mountain Dew.
It tastes like a Diet Mountain Dew at best and worst.
And it says it's zero sugar, but I don't believe that.
I love that they don't have to put the ingredients on it because it's an alcoholic beverage.
Oh, they just don't want you to know.
Like
radioactive
whatever.
Waste.
They'll drink it, and they're right.
It's distilled and bottled at a Superfund site.
They're right. Totally right. Any other news you got going on this week?
Not personally, but I definitely saw some news in the news.
Let's hear it.
So, one-time President Donald Trump had his resort, I might even say his last resort, Mar-a-Lago, raided. Basically, the FBI just kind of came in, opened up his safes. He basically took documents from the White House and took them back with him to keep personal, possibly keep private. Problem with that is you can't do that. So
he's the president.
Well, he was. But anybody who isn't a fan of Hillary Clinton will, of course, know that you can't do that.
I hear she smells like sulfur.
So you can't do that. And that's what the Republicans were saying about Hillary Clinton, is she took documents home, and you aren't allowed to do that. You have to protect those documents, and, well, Trump did the same thing. But apparently it's fine if he does it. I mean, if the person that you like does something, and it's fine.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Basically. Yeah, exactly. They are all chimps. But you had Trump supporters come out to Mar-a-Lago, basically rallying around the president. Some were crying, some were yelling the N-word.
Actual tears.
A lot of them were on Facebook typing, "But what about?" in every comment section. And some of them realized that maybe law enforcement boots aren't what they want to lick anymore. You also had several far-right groups come out and say, if you go on if you catch the far right chatter on like Reddit and stuff, you got a whole lot of we need a civil war because of this. And that went great for you guys the last time.
That's a logical conclusion to jump to.
Civil War Part 1 didn't go too well. Civil War Part 2 on January 6th went even worse.
The trumpeting.
The trumpeting, yes. Yes, just so stupid. Trump also was supposed to appear in front of the New York Attorney General pertaining to one of his investigations, one of his numerous criminal investigations. Before I tell you what he did, I'll tell you about the time that he was in a debate with Hillary Clinton, and he said, and I quote, "If you're innocent, why take the Fifth Amendment? Innocent people don't take the Fifth Amendment. That's just for, like, the mob." Trump said that.
That's why they put in the Bill of Rights.
In a debate, Trump said that. It's just a little bit weird that when he was in front of the New York Attorney General, he invoked the Fifth Amendment over 440 times. Do you know how freaking long it takes you just to say, I invoke my constitutional right to the Fifth Amendment? 440 times?
I want to say that's double the amount of times the F word is said in Scarface.
It could be.
I think so. I think it's like 228, so it's roughly about the same.
Looks like he might actually be going down for it at some point in time.
That's what I hear.
That'd be cool.
That's what I hear.
That'd be cool.
So from one buffoon to another, have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
Have you seen this? Heard about this?
There was a French scientist who had to make an apology.
Ugh, French.
He had a tweet. He tweeted what he was claiming was a picture of Proxima Centauri. That's as I'm sure we all know, the closest star to the sun at 4.2 light years away from a space telescope image, when in fact it was actually a spicy piece of Spanish sausage, otherwise known as chorizo.
Ooh, I love chorizo.
Yep.
So he took a picture of chorizo.
Yeah, like a nice little slice, like a pepperoni slice almost.
Oh, like the forced meat version of chorizo, not the Mexican kind, the Italian kind.
Just real close up.
Spanish kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was trying to pass it off as a son or another son. People were not fooled. He had to make an apology about it. What are you going to do?
I like to think that I would have been one of the people scrolling Reddit, and I see it, and I'm just like,
oh, a new sun just dropped.
That ain't the sun. That's chorizo.
I think that's what happened.
I would 100% get it. 100%, I'd be right there. Some other news I saw, friends of the show, at least one of them, Kim K and PDD broke up.
Heartbreaking.
I was hanging on by a thread, and it was this thread that I was hanging on to.
I thought they were going to last.
Forever.
And ever.
Bullshit. So your favorite person ever, Kanye West.
Second favorite.
He's harassing Pete over the phone, abusing.
Yeah, he's done that in the past, apparently. He also tweeted or posted on Instagram. He said Skeet Davidson. He calls him Skeet. If I can give my hot take, I think they're just using a hot commodity in this moment to kind of just keep themselves relevant. In Pete Davidson.
Maybe. Also, just another quick little piece here. Actress and singer Olivia Newton-John.
Heartbreaking as well.
Dead at 73. Yeah. Rest in peace. 100%.
I'm so glad you brought this in because I had this written down and I forgot to actually write it on my notes. So
rest in peace, Olivia.
I'm glad you got that in there.
Fantastic in Greece.
She lived so long with cancer as well. And,
did she really?
And she really kept it private because she wasn't trying to make that her crusade, but just the sweetest person.
Yeah.
On and off the screen.
Gone too soon.
Gone too soon. Speaking of gone too soon, you heard this? Sprite's getting rid of the green bottles.
I did see that.
They say it's easier to recycle. I think they just don't want to spend the extra money on the green dye.
I mean, does it really matter?
It doesn't. But I will say this. In additional environmental news, rainwater everywhere on Earth is unsafe to drink due to forever chemicals, known as PFAS. This is coming out of Stockholm. They were quoted saying that none is safe, and we're just going to have to live with it.
Sweet.
It's just how it goes,
Rock and roll. We did it.
All of our water is toxic.
We did it. Our planet is 73% water. We did it. We made none of it drinkable. Even the shit that falls from the sky is not drinkable.
Yeah, apparently they were they've just been lowering the standards, so it makes it more undrinkable. Well, good. Maybe we should have high standards for drinking water.
So stupid.
One of the few things we need to live. Just a thought.
I can't handle this world anymore. Speaking of not being able to handle this world, Republicans are freaking mad.
As opposed to
They are mad at the oddest place. You ever see like
Build-A-Bear? They're just pissed off.
even weirder than that? No. This is like their temple. It's literally got their whole identity in the name of this establishment.
Texas Roadhouse.
So close. Cracker Barrel.
It's right there. It's right next door.
Republicans are pissed off at Cracker Barrel and their new woke sausage, which is a plant-based sausage, to appeal to people who might not want fucking meat at breakfast, might want a little bit of a substitute. No, that's woke tosh, turning the frogs gay. These people are stupid. I'm done playing nice. I'm done with like tiptoeing around. Oh no, you should respect it. These people are stupid. I don't even know what they want to hate. It's just like who do they ask?
I feel like they just have a list and they're just like, Cracker Barrel's got a meatless sausage. Like, that's it. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Hate that now. Quick, to Facebook!
Yeah, it's just like an infinite sorting machine of just like, should we hate this?
It's like something new comes out.
Nabisco's got a new whole wheat Cheez-It. Should we hate this?
I feel like they have like a whole conference.
It's a little darker than the normal Cheez-It. I think we should.
It's like a No. If it's darker, they're not gonna want it.
Yeah, they hate it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's so stupid. Like you don't have to eat it. Do you get that?
No more showing up at 6 a.m. at the Cracker Barrel.
And I am sure that all the people at Cracker Barrel are like seeing the comments of like, well, they just lost my business, and like, good. Thank God. Thank God. I'm so sick of you people.
If that's all they had to do.
It's for real. I'm just gonna start making everything plant based. Is that all we gotta do? I want Food Lion. I'm gonna implore Food Lion. We're gonna go 100% plant based chicken. We're gonna sort this shit out. I bet you the freaking bastards will be moving to Afghanistan real quick.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that so bad. From one food news story to another, this is great. You know Domino's Pizza.
Oh yeah,
Pizza Domino's.
They're actually an enemy of mine.
Are they?
At least as far as work goes.
Well,
Pizza Hut.
I think it was in 2013. They started setting up shop in Italy. They borrowed money to open 880 stores. Nowadays, they're closing those last 29.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
One Twitter user said, opening up a pizza shop in Italy is like selling snow to the North Pole.
Man, it's so funny because, like, I don't know, everything about it's funny, but
why would you do that?
like, one of the things that everyone knows about Italy is that they shit on Americans and they shit on American quote-unquote Italian food. Have you ever had an actual Italian pizza?
I've had some Italian relatives, make me pizza, so I would think it's the next best thing. But I've never actually been over.
It is nearly unrecognizable.
Oh,
from what we think of as pizza.
I have a friend who gets like fucking like prosciutto on her pizza and shit.
Prosciutto,
something like that.
Prosciutto. You're Italian, sir. You say you're Italian.
Her pizzas look completely different than ours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's zero grease. There's like sparse cheese. Stone baked bread.
You can like
Domino's. What are you doing?
There's flavor that you can like taste and mull over.
Basil leaves. You know,
it's fun times. So yeah. So well, you know what? That news article makes perfect sense to me,
doesn't it?
Domino's shutting down in Italy because why would they be there? I saw a few other cool things happen. Well, it's not necessarily cool because it could be a lot cooler because these people could still be alive, but a little bit of justice. Small amount of justice. Breonna Taylor, the officer who basically just walked into her place with a no-knock warrant and then shot her for defending.
I remember.
So that officer has been charged. I don't know if they were convicted, but they might have been convicted, but I know they were charged. So at least making steps in the right direction, a little bit of progress. The dude who killed Ahmaud Arbery for not doing shit except running down the road, the gang of basically these people are sort of like if you've ever seen Wrong Turn,
Haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? So basically, it's just a bunch of inbred hillbilly hicks who were trying to kill people. That's who these 3 guys were who killed Ahmaud Arbery. They just saw a black guy running down their street, and they're like, well, not today. And so they decided that they could go kill that guy. He is convicted. He is federal hate crime. Federal hate crime. Lock him. I mean, honestly, I don't often promote the death penalty, but boy, do I wish it would apply here. Fuck that. I don't want to pay for that dude to live.
Yeah, there's some pros and cons to every death penalty, but
I think if you're gonna send him to jail for life in prison, you got to put him in like the block with all the gangs.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep. And then put up a camera, make it like a reality TV show thing. Like we can all like place bets. Is that like how long is he gonna last? Because I want to see this dude get shivved. The amount of times Donald Trump pled the fifth.
You gotta wonder if there was like a pay-per-view service for like lynchings and stuff, like they'd probably raise a lot of money.
I don't want to promote lynchings.
Well, you know
necessarily,
what I mean. Electric chair,
but
whatever.
The prison shivving of racist, that I'll co-sign with.
Yeah, totally. I'm down with that. I'm down with racists. Like down to them. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Down to the racists.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I do.
All right, Dylan, I got one more story for you. Are you familiar with Juggalo Fest?
I don't think I have to be familiar with it to get what's going on here.
Well, if I could just give it a bit of history. Back in 1992, ICP...
You found history I don't give a fuck about. Congratulations.
...had a song called Juggla, and hence the Juggalo and the Juggalette were born. Since then, they've been putting on festivals, shows, that sort of thing. This one in particular was billed as the, quote, greatest family reunion on Earth. It's 130 acres in Ohio, a big old festival. This year's theme is the Gathering of Dreams. And of course, as tradition, ICP closes out the show. There's clothing optional mosh pits. They're spraying Faygo everywhere. And of course, there's, sex toy fighting, just like dildos, sword fighting, and stuff like that. There's also an inflatable dinosaur, plenty of teddy bears. There's also one guy who shoved a hot pepper up his privates and then took a bite. But that's not even the best part. The highlight of this event was the world record breaking. Ready for this? World record largest ball of tape. It was 2,000 pounds and 3.89 meters.
Did it crush all the attendees?
I think they were partying too hard.
I was hoping there was going to be like a happy ending.
There's a couple other bands too, but you're there for ICP. Could you imagine just being in a mosh pit with half-naked juggalos covered in Faygo? Had I known.
Boy, how to convince me not to go to a place.
It seemed like a great time.
I used to be into ICP, though.
Didn't we all? I watched enough wrestling in the late 90s.
You know what?
Dude,
That's it.
I was going to say, we should go undercover at a future Juggalo Fest and just do interviews on the spot for the Sounds Obtuse podcast.
I'd love it.
Pin our face up.
I'd do it.
I'll spray you in Faygo. We'll carry dildos around. It should be a great time. I think the general consensus, just based off the diverse individuals I saw at the Juggalo Fest. I've seen pictures. I can show you pictures. And I can do that with my Trump hands. I can show you pictures. It seems to be pretty wild there.
I bet it is wild. One last thing, just a quick shout out to Jon Stewart. Have you seen some of what he's been doing?
I have not.
You have all these burn pits. So like whenever the army goes somewhere, when they leave, you're not taking everything out that doesn't need to be taken with you. So let's just throw some taxpayer money in the fucking fire, right? So you just build a big pit.
It's going to cost more money to bring it back, so may as well just burn it.
Build a big pit. You throw in a couple $1 million worth of taxpayer dollars, and then you light it on fire. And then you stand there, and you breathe it in, and you breathe it and breathe it and breathe it, and then you get cancer or some other terrible thing that happens to you. And so Democrats, or Demo-rats, if you ask my uncle.
There you go.
Ask my uncle. These anti-American scum, the Democrats, decided they were going to pass a bill that would basically make this illegal, and that anyone who has had complications from it would get compensation. Right?
Sounds like a good plan.
These are American heroes who were forced to do a very shitty job and got sick. they should be taken care of. Republicans said no. And it's because, well, I don't know why. But
there's probably a few like
there's probably some money involved, some big corporations.
Yeah, if I'd imagine
Halliburton's probably in there. I don't know why, but probably.
There's like a couple of those we call those things that get tacked on the bills, and you're just like, well, really, we want this one to go by, but if we say no to this, we're saying no to these other things too. So
Jon Stewart has been kind of championing this cause, trying to get on board, trying to get people on board, and it was just a big fight. He was running a protest. It was a very emotional moment when a woman who lost her husband to complications from this very thing, after they finally were able to drag Republicans kicking and screaming to help support our veterans. The bill finally gets passed, and this woman who had lost her husband and Jon Stewart had a very emotional moment, kind of like just sharing in a little bit of victory, not just for themselves, but for every service member and service member's family. I think Jon Stewart over there doing really good work.
Yeah, he's been pretty good at that. Jew out of William and Mary. What more could you ask for?
Yep.
It's a great dude.
But that's most of the news I had on my desk. What about you?
That's all I got.
That's all we got?
That's all we got.
Well, I think with that being said,
we got to pay some bills.
Pay some bills.
Let's get this ad money. A portion of this podcast is provided by the following.
Midshipman Munch. Whoops. All Fireball Minis. Ahoy, matey. I'm Midshipman Cornelius Farragut Munch, and we have some wacky things happening here on the high seas. After being trapped in a nor'easter off the Capes, we found out all of our delicious cereal had been replaced by 100% Fireball Minis. Whoops! Now, for a limited time, you don't have to decide between breakfast and liver failure. You can get it all in one. These other cereals are nothing but sugar. Where's the alcohol? Where's the hope at the end of every wee bottle? And that reminds me, remember kids, in every box there be fun booty to be found. Small treasures and trinkets from far and wide for your collecting or spending on whores. Some of you may know of our previous captain who shall not be named. But we had some, say, creative differences involving an underage howler monkey, a Florida congressman named Matt, and a poorly ventilated massage parlor in a Singapore slum. So those greedy corporate scallywags at Post struck our colors and made us walk the plank. But alas, they pulled their own peg leg because all of our good recipes and ideas came with us. Set a course for rock bottom and use the passphrase, totally 21, to get a free box and see what all the hoopla is about. With Midshipman Munch, whoops, all Fireball Minis. Fire a cannon of flavor and shame into your mouth while supplies last.
Thank you, Midshipman Munch, and your wonderful cereal, is it?
It's definitely yep,
cereal
100%.
For supporting the podcast. Love those guys.
Yeah, I don't really want to do this, but this seems eerily similar to something I said on the pod.
I think they listen to the pod.
Have to.
They have to.
Have to.
All of our sponsors
I just don't know how they get it out on the high seas.
That was quick too.
I know.
Really, less than a week. Wow.
Apparently, they separated from the parent branch. I guess they, as he said, they had some differences, and I guess this was his big thing. He was like, "Well, I know what I need to do."
I love bottles in a box. Just something about that.
Yep.
For breakfast.
Yep. I also maybe not drink the milk with this one. This is probably one of the one times you could forego the milk at the end.
We need more cinnamon flavored cereals.
But the milk, you just kind of fish out the bottles with a spoon and then you drink them. So the milk really just kind of tastes like plastic at the end. And drinking the milk on top of, an average bowl, probably 15 Fireball Minis. So.
I said cinnamon, but we could probably also use more cereals with microplastics too. So.
Yep.
Thanks,
Midshipman Munch.
For supporting the pod. And we're back.
That was like boss battle music.
It was.
I loved it.
It's pretty good. Pretty good
That's
stuff
fantastic.
there.
What's that little thing called?
That is a pocket operator from Teenage Engineering. They make a whole bunch of these things. This is the arcade version. They also actually make a Street Fighter and Mega Man one.
That's pretty apt because what are we talking about?
Video games.
Yeah, we are. You love them.
You need them?
I think you might.
I think so too. Because you can't kill people in real life, but you throw on GTA, pop as many caps as you want to.
Well, too many people think you can kill people in real life, sadly.
That's true. I would just prefer to do it GTA style.
I would also. Do you just want to go over some of our favorites? I think that's what this boils down to, isn't it?
Can I start with something though?
Go right ahead.
So video games are near and dear, I think, to all of us at this point, but also this very podcast.
They are.
Because, as we mentioned before, it started with the game of Madden.
It did.
Essentially. Which is the trash game. We'll be
It is a trash game.
probably mentioning that fact at least 2 more times throughout this episode. So yeah, Madden, hate it, love it, does hold a special place in my heart.
Oh yeah, I mean it's always fun, but it's just always like a shitty kind of fun. It's like a carnival ride. So,
It is. I'm looking forward to the next one, just to compare and contrast. I said that'll definitely have to be one. We'll compare and contrast to Madden.
Yeah.
Madden last year, this year.
That'll be fun.
That would be great. But you did say what video games are our favorites.
Some of your favorites.
What's some of your favorites?
I wrote a list. This is my curated, in no particular order,
I'll say definitive. Okay.
in no particular order, favorites. Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Skyrim, Red Dead / GTA to a lesser extent, Civilization, City Skylines, Tropico, and Call of the Wild.
Interesting.
A lot of micromanagey type of games.
You ever do RTSs?
Real-time strategy?
Yeah.
I like them, but I've never had anything that will run them. So, like, I would love to have a computer that could play, like, Total
I feel
War.
Like you'd be super into that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I would love it, but I don't have anything to run it.
I totally get that.
They kill computers.
That's a damn fun time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to play, like, a couple of times, play some Total War, but it's just not, like, it's not your save. You're playing at your buddy's house. He's just, like, letting you dick around on it.
Yeah, it's always fun.
You don't really know what you're doing. You don't really have time to, like actually learn. So what about you? Like, which ones just stand out?
So, not Madden. ESPN NFL 2K5. Perhaps the greatest football game ever made. I'll give a special shout out there.
That's the consensus.
Interestingly enough, it was a chance purchase of a really cheap NFL Fever copy for the original Xbox that got me into, like, really liking, appreciating, and understanding football more.
Yeah, I think you're very apt about that. It goes for any of the sports games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to understand hockey,
Play a game.
play the game.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
But that really, like, turned me on. I said I was always an Eagles fan, just being born and out of Philly. But, like, actually being able to appreciate it and then getting, like, 2K that year as well, I really got into it. You know, he's on the cover. Greatest football game ever made. And then until Madden came. But then, like, another Eagles on the cover of it, so I was like, you bastards. That football game, NFL Street, all like the big NBA Street, SSX Tricky, Burnout, those sort of games.
Yeah.
Those arcade styles.
Big
sports.
Big fan.
Huge fan. Love those. Beat 'em ups. I've talked about Shredder's Revenge recently. Still fun. Still super. Possibly my favorite beat 'em up of all time. It might get into contention. And I say that because it just masters everything perfectly. One of the few games I can turn on, and this hasn't happened in a long time, where you zone out and you're thinking about something else for several minutes, and you're playing the game, and you're still doing well, and you're doing everything that needs to be done, but you're in two places at once almost. Mm-hmm. That level of zoning out.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't gotten that in a while from video games, and I think that's kind of the goal.
What's the number one thing you need in a game?
I mean, I think just like, is it too bold to say just fun?
No, I mean, if that's your answer, that's your answer. There's nothing wrong with it.
Because, like, I almost wanted to say, like, variety. Because, like, I love roguelikes and stuff, you know, where it's, like, different every time. I really do appreciate that. And you, like, said, something like a beat 'em up, it's more arcadey, where it's, like, a set pattern of motions that you can be memorized, you know what I mean? So you don't have that effect. But I think, yeah, fun, because, like, why else are you playing them?
So it's interesting you say that. I wouldn't say fun has much to do with why I play the games I play. I think I enjoy them, but I think it's far more satisfaction. It isn't necessarily that I'm doing it because it's fun. Like, City Skylines is not necessarily always a fun game. It's a game where you deal with, like, 90% of what you do is deal with traffic. It's not exactly
stressful.
fun, but it's rewarding when you get that interchange just right.
True. Funness and reward. I think those two things.
But I think the most important thing to me is a game that I can get lost in. And I mean that sort of in two different ways. Like a game like Skyrim or Red Dead, I want a game where I can literally slip into and just live a completely different life. Sims, honorable mention. Love the Sims. You can just sort of slip into it. The Hunter, Call of the Wild, slip into it, go do some hunting in a beautiful landscape. But I also like to slip into games because of micromanaging and detail. I think that's one of my favorite things about games, are games where I can control every aspect of what's going on. Another honorable mention would be Minecraft. Games like that. Like it's so easy to just get baked and fall into those games.
Yeah, I tried Minecraft on several occasions. I couldn't fully get into it.
Oh, I love Minecraft. It's great.
Maybe show me the way sometime, because
We'll have to
I've
go-
tried.
We'll have to go build a little fort sometime.
But
Just let your creativity go.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's a simulation of sorts. You get to kind of like live another life. Like, you're not actually an Italian plumber rescuing a princess, but that 20-minute, run through you are.
Do you have a camp in the Great Console War?
So I love my PS2. It's probably my all-time favorite. Xbox 360 is probably second place. Currently, I'm still loving my Switch. I adore it. It's probably my favorite probably the console I played the most, honestly. In recent memory, for sure. Like, PS4 is cool, which also, check this out. I got the Steam Deck. I get PS Now. I can play PlayStation games on my Steam Deck.
Nice. But
Have it all.
to my question, do you have a stake in one of the camps?
Nah, because they both have their games, and they're both starting to realize now, starting with Xbox, they pretty much said, we don't care where you play our games, we just want you to play our games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sony's going to do what they do, for better or worse.
Yeah.
Their proprietor items, say what you will. Talking to you, memory card stick for the original PSP.
Oh, man.
To get me started. I do like their customability of the PlayStation. I have PlayStation, I have Xboxes. They all have their pros and cons. As a kid, I had a Sega and a Nintendo. What about you?
We had every system.
Yeah, I pretty much did too, except for like your TurboGrafx 16s and those.
Super obscure
Who's
ones.
got a Jaguar?
I guess I probably do have a stake. I'm an Xbox user, and I prefer Xbox by far. But I don't shit on people simply because they play PlayStation. That's fine.
Yeah, I think those days are mostly over. At least I'd hope.
I will fight those fights whenever I seen it thrown at me though. If someone's like, "What, you like Xbox?" Yeah, I freaking do. It's great. It's never rubbed me the wrong way.
I do love the memes though, because I have been both. You know what I mean? It's like a laugh at it always.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the Android iPhone memes. Very similar. I have an Android, but man, they crack me up every time.
What's your thoughts on digital?
It's convenient as hell.
Man,
But I still really there's a few games I have where even for my Switch where they have limited runs, and I there's one game in particular I mentioned before, Double Dragon Neon. It was a digital exclusive up until this point. So it originally came out in 2012 for the Xbox Arcade, and then it's been on Game Pass and stuff. You can get it on other systems, but it's always been digital until this limited run, and I made sure to snag that up. So worst case scenario, the internet goes out in the world, I can at least play Double Dragon Neon on my Switch.
I literally wrote down digital is unnerving and convenient as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the direction it's headed specifically, but boy, is it convenient just to boop, press a button, you got a game.
Yeah,
It's
I get so
amazing.
many games on my Switch, and so many I haven't even played yet. And then I think Steam really started all that. It kind of scares me to get my Steam Deck, but this would be fun stuff. So some fun games.
Do you have any fun game related memories that just stand out?
So I can say this. I asked for Guitar Hero, I think for Christmas. And you know how parents are. They're like, oh, you want a guitar. So I didn't get Guitar Hero. I got a real acoustic guitar. Same one you see on this wall up here. So it was my first kind of guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And so that mistake got me more into music than ever could have been.
Happy accident.
Yeah, and I still love Guitar Hero. I love Rock Band, and those games got me into so much more music as well. Discovering bands they never would have heard of otherwise. Classic rock, new, whatever. Those are fun times.
That's a good point. I didn't really like those games, but that's a good point. That like I still played them, and it definitely did teach you a lot about music, and
I think
I can respect it.
music and video games in general, like the Mario tunes, the Sonic the Hedgehog tunes, even like some beat 'em ups like Streets of Rage, just classic jams that you can only get on some of those like chiptune old school cartridges. Gotta love that stuff. Definitely highly influential in those regards. Like I love that stuff.
Are you familiar with the term kidult?
Is that like when I imagine it's like when you what's the word I'm looking for? Like anthropomorphize, but like for being a kid. When you like color in coloring books and stuff like that. It's very similar.
So kidult is a new class of basically it's a new piece of the life cycle of a human being. So you used to have, you were born, you had your newborn stage, toddler, whatever.
It's like 25 to 41.
Basically. So basically what they're saying is it used to be like kids played games and stuff and then they grew up and they stopped. But now there's this new class of people who they don't grow up.
They say that, but like also there was never video games to even,
Exactly. But so people kind of thought, okay, well, kids are going to grow out of it.
This is just a toy. It's made by Mattel.
But we damn sure didn't. Like, I play my Xbox every single day.
Yeah, it's fun.
I need that escape. I just think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. What game would you have if you could only play like one? Like if you're like a desert island, you can only play one video game.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to go ahead and say Civilization.
Okay.
It's not necessarily my favorite game, but it's one of my favorite games, and its replay value is probably the highest of all of them. So,
I love some games like Left 4 Dead is really fun. Burnout, I think I mentioned, really fun.
Ooh, Dead Island was so much fun.
Even something like Rock Band, because there's so many songs, you just keep doing that. But like to me, like GTA 5, man,
so much to do.
So much to do. Like we want to do bowling, we want to do ride a motorcycle, go skydiving, jump out of a parachute. Kill some people.
You can do so much.
It's so fun. Do some races. It's great. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of video games? Like video game characters.
Video game characters?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say Mario.
Obviously, I got him on mine as well.
100%.
100% Mario.
I'm going to say... So I need 4. So Mario... Man, this is hard.
I'm going to throw out Pac-Man.
Yes.
Because he was pretty prevalent, like from the arcades to just the video games, the merchandising, especially like in the 80s. Pac-Man was fucking everywhere.
Tommy Vercetti.
Tommy Vercetti? You want to put CJ or maybe even...
No, because Grand Theft Auto 3 started it.
That was
that led to it.
That was Vice City Tommy Vercetti.
Was that who was Grand Theft Auto 3?
I can't think it was his...
I thought it was the same dude.
Nah, it was a different guy.
Well, then not Tommy Vercetti. I'm talking about Grand Theft Auto 3.
Even over Trevor?
Yeah, but not on Mount Rushmore. The people who started, who set trends is the point. Where the trends were made. So I would also argue Dragonborn.
Never heard of it.
Bullshit. Skyrim.
Oh.
Like
That's a good one.
That changed. I mean, I bet you there's Reddit nerds mad already.
Right. You grew on Mario. Solid lock. Mario's solid lock. Right.
Yeah.
Pac-Man solid lock?
Probably, yeah.
Master Chief.
That is a good one.
You could possibly even summon Doom Guy if you wanted to.
You know what? Doom Guy needs to be up there.
Over Master Chief?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Because without Doom Guy, there is no Master Chief.
I agree. So that was like a tough call for me. Mario, Pac-Man, Doom Guy. I have some fourth contenders, if you have some yourself. I got someone like Pikachu.
It's a different kind of game, but yeah.
The Minecraft guy, was his name Steve?
Yeah, no.
How about Chun-Li? Street Fighter. Get some fighting game action in there.
Could be. Man.
I wouldn't be mad if with Chun-Li out there, honestly.
No. Man, that is an interesting question. That's a fantastic question, Chris. By the way, Grand Theft Auto 3, you play the main character. The reason no one knows his name is that it's not mentioned, but if you do enough digging, they found out his name is Claude.
You know, I thought that, but I didn't want to like give false trivia.
So, yeah, I think you
Mega
got
Man, possible contender.
Mario, Pac-Man, Doom Guy, but you need like one modern one.
Lara Croft.
What did Tomb Raider change?
Action platforming in a 3D realm.
Okay, fair enough. Lara Croft.
And tits and video games. You made those polygons look good.
Polygons were pointy.
Mm-hmm. I'm fine putting Lara Croft up there.
Okay. Also, hashtag feminism.
Yeah. Agreed. Strong women. Gotta love them.
Gotta love them.
If only they had pockets.
If only they had pockets. That's a great question. That really was. What game would be the most perfect thing for you?
Can I say one more thing?
Oh,
that
please.
A possible fourth.
Please.
That I'd be remiss not mentioning.
Please.
The Tetris long piece. Or the T.
You love long piece.
Long piece.
Long piece always came in clutch.
Whatever Tetris piece you want to put up there.
What would be the ideal game for Chris?
So I'm glad you asked this because I love rhythm games. Like I said, I'm a musician. I love rock band, that sort of stuff. So I love rhythm games. I love beat 'em ups as well. But I also like twin stick shooters, like Robotron.
Really?
I love me a good twin stick shooter. So you give me a rhythmic twin stick shooter / beat 'em up, where you're like making the music. Like if you like shoot the enemies in like the exact timing as it's like set up for you and do it like flawlessly, it'll make like a really sweet track. You know what I mean? So like there'll be stages where you're like shooting up like enemies and like the sound they make dying is like the musical sounds, you know? But then you have like the fighting stages where you're like punching them up rhythmically, also doing the same thing. So the combination of that I think would be so fucking fun. It would tickle my fancy.
This is the kind of answer I honestly expected.
Like I've thought about that. I'm trying to will into existence. So anyone listening, consult with me. I can help you out.
I want a real-time strategy game based on the U.S. Civil War.
I think they tried that, but they implemented like a future time travel element, and it was like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want it like just honest. Just you can play as either. And
They might have had one from the History Channel as well.
there was a Civil War game from the History Channel. It was a great game, but it was first person, which doesn't really work in a Civil War context.
Yeah, they were just trying to write the coattails of Call of Duty, I guess.
It was literally like Call of Duty, but Civil War, and it's like you're single-handedly winning the Civil War. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's any different than like Wolfenstein, where you just like straight up
just kill all the Nazis.
Yeah, that's one thing that's great about video games. You have to kill Nazis.
I love killing Nazis.
Me too. That's one thing I get behind is killing Nazis.
Is there anything else you want to say about video games? What else you got over there?
They're fun. I think it's a great gateway to like opening up new ways to hang out with people.
Yeah.
You know?
I would also say educational.
Yeah.
Civilization is such a real game because so here's just like a small piece. So part of in Civilization, if you want to be able to create knights as a military unit, right? You need to first research things that give you knights. The two inventions in actual history that led to the creation of knights being able to attack the way that they do was the stirrup and the high-backed saddle. And you need to get those things. You need to research them in Civilization to then allow you to have knights. It's real. It's honest. And it's simplified, but it creates it in an intuitive way. So you just sort of learn that stuff. And I've even seen history teachers using Civilization to teach like historic themes and stuff, and I think that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a few things just from like playing video games, potentially even life-saving things. So I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Can't give you an example right now. I'm sure it's happened.
Load it up.
I don't have one. I did want to give another special shout out just to games like Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh yes,
super fun. Again,
Skate
again, the music.
Skate too. Skate were really fun games just to sort of slip into and just ride around town, skating it up. Falling, watching yourself die in different ways. It was great.
I'm also glad video games aren't nerdy anymore. You know, like you mentioned, like you're just expected to stop. Like, no, thank you. I would like to keep playing these. They're fun. It's just a great escape. One of my favorite things to do. Certainly your favorite pastime. So anyone to send some video game code, send them this way. Sounds Obtuse, P.O. Box 1-800 Mailbox Street.
That's it.
Anything else you want to add?
Man, I think that's it. I think I definitely would love to come back and do like a history of video games pod. I think that would be a fun like companion to this one.
I know
down the road.
Fair good amount about those.
I got a friend who is like, I mean, he knows a ton of it. You know him, Mike.
Okay.
Mike would be a great guest to have on for that pod. So that would be a fun little thing. But aside from that, I think we just wanted to share some of our stories about video games, why we love them, things we don't love about them. Madden.
Yeah.
Fuck Madden.
Playing video games and smoking weed. I love scary games too. Resident Evils, whatnot.
I have a hard time playing scary games.
We gotta play scary games
Like
sometime.
Subnautica is a game that shouldn't exist.
I'm down to play it sometime though. I would love to.
I would honestly watch you play it.
It'd be fun. That's where a lot of the fun is as well. Even just those are the one games I like to watch as opposed to play. But I'll be the one playing.
Okay, I'll do that.
Outlast or something like that.
I'll do that.
All right. With that said, we do gotta collect some more money to buy these video games.
Gotta feed our addiction.
Yeah. So with that, we gotta get this money.
Today's episode of Sounds Obtuse Podcast is brought to you by.
Do you know how to shop? Do you know the tricks of the trade to get the most out of your shopping experience?
Hi, I'm Professor Karen, and I've developed a comprehensive system to make shopping work for you. Whether you've been shopping your whole life or just starting out, by following my new program, by me, Karen Hunt, your happiness will skyrocket. I'll teach you everything you need to know when it comes to putting food on the table for your family, but these skills aren't just for the grocery stores.
With Karen Hunt's methodology, you'll learn the secrets to success while shopping by dropping things and laughing about it. Make staff uncomfortable by flirting with them. Sneaking up behind someone so when they turn around, you get scared and then have an excuse to touch them, generally causing a mess. Also, uncover other classic Karen Hunt moves like shuffling through all the items even though they all have the same date and are identical, getting in the way and then asking, "Oh, am I in the way?" and leaving your cart in the main intersection, then wandering off aimlessly with T-Rex arms and your mouth agape as if you had never seen a grocery store before in your entire life.
Now that's what I call shopping. Remember, these people work for you, so have fun with it. And order now for a limited money back and satisfaction guarantee, or my name isn't Professor Karen C. Hunt.
If I could give a pro tip, Dylan, I actually took the course.
Did you?
I did. I took the course. Something they'll tell you there. If I can just kind of like push some sales to help support this pod, of course.
Yeah, I mean, they're helping us. Let's help them out.
So one thing they'll tell you is pretend like you're talking on the phone. You don't actually have to be on the phone.
No.
You just have to have it there, so it looks like you got your hands full. You're trying to multitask. It gives you an excuse to just not be considerate in public because you can't. How can you?
Do they also? I'm assuming, just from what I've seen, you leave it on speakerphone.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you want everyone to hear both sides of the conversation. Normally, you just got to hear the one, but no, it's like I want you to take all of it.
That's in the advanced.
Oh, okay.
The advanced, because like I said, some people don't like having their conversations out there, and if you're faking the conversation, there is no conversation to be had. So once you get advanced, Karen 102, if you will, then you put it on speaker, and then you audibly annoy people as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I see.
Not audibly annoying, that her voice, gotta love it.
It made me think of Monty Python.
It's great.
It really did.
I love her. Thanks for supporting the podcast, Karen.
Yeah, thank you, Karen C. Hunt.
And we're back. Wonderful ad. Great sponsors. Gotta love those guys. Dylan, we got a final segment for these fine people here this evening. A returning segment, in fact. One that we've done in the past. Why don't you tell us what's hot?
So, we're all worldly over here at Sounds Obtuse Podcast. Sometimes we like to do readings. Sometimes our readings are non-obtuse, but tonight they're going to be obtuse readings.
As the name goes.
So instead of doing poetry as poetry, we're going to do something a little different, and we're going to take songs and turn them into poetry.
And we got some good ones.
Boy, do we.
Some real lyricists for our time.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I go?
Please, go right ahead.
My lyrics are written by one James Hetfield.
Yeah.
Are you familiar?
Yeah.
He is indeed the lead singer and rhythm guitarist for one Metallica.
Yeah.
The song I will be reciting today, the first track from their album Reload, as the Metallica wiki says, it was popular with most fans.
It's also a song that really fits with the news of the time.
Yeah, released November 18th, 1997. So with that said, the song at hand, by one Metallica is Fuel. And it goes. Give me fuel. Give me fire. Give me that which I desire. Turn on. I see red. Adrenaline crash and crack my head. Nitro junkie. Paint me dead. And I see red. 100 plus through black and white. Warhorse. Warhead. Fuck a man. White knuckles tight. Through black and white. It builds. Oh, on I burn. Fuel is pumping engines. Burning hard, loose, and clean. And on I burn. Churning my direction. Quench my thirst with gasoline. So give me fuel. Give me fire. Give me that which I desire. Turn on beyond the bone. Swallow future. Spit out home. Burn your face upon the chrome. Take the corner, join the crash. Headlights, head on. Headlines. Another junkie lives too fast. Lives way too fast. We get a refrain of the chorus, but it reiterates. Give me fuel. Give me fire. My desire. On I burn. So I think the thing to do is just really kind of dive into some of the deeper themes of Metallica's Fuel. One of the big things they mentioned, driving fast. Much like Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious movies. You got that adrenaline in you. You're a junkie for it. You live for it. So much so that when you're gripping the steering wheel, your knuckles are white. Have you ever been behind the car in that level of a frenzy?
Oh, yeah.
You're there?
Oh, yeah. I've driven down 95.
Have you ever burned to that of the very engine in the vehicle?
Maybe not.
This guy has. White knuckles tight. He burns. He's living dangerously. May I reiterate fast? Much like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Maybe that was the inspiration.
You'll notice when he says, give me fuel, give me fire, he's quite literally asking for fuel. He needs this gasoline as if he were a car to fuel his quench. I'd say bloodlust, but really, he's just an adrenaline junkie. So much so that he's willing to risk his own life to appear in the headlines, no matter if he dies.
It's very Paul Walker.
Very. So Metallica's Fuel, tale, a warning perhaps.
Cautionary tale.
Cautionary tale, yes. Metallica's Fuel, James Hetfield. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you have one for us as well.
I do. Yeah, I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to stick to a rapper, if you will. This is going to be selected verses from Nightmares of the Bottom by one Dwayne Michael Carter. Great lyricist of our time.
Best rapper alive?
Alive, maybe.
Self-proclaimed.
And again, this is Nightmares of the Bottom, selected verses by Dwayne Michael Carter. Sleeping at the top, nightmares of the bottom. Everybody want to be fly until you swat 'em, but who am I to talk? I ain't shitting roses. We're in the same picture, but we all got different poses. Now I'm looking in my rear view. I see the world in it. I try to slow down and I get rear-ended. Pause. Like a red light, I'm dead right. Highway to heaven, God, do you see my headlights? They say you don't know what you're doing till you stop doing it. Well, call me clueless, 'cause I do this. Attention all shooters, I'm a shooting star. Life is a course and I'm a shoot for par. Searching for today, instead I found tomorrow. And I'll put that shit right back, man. I'll see what I find tomorrow. Young Money CMR, blood like a scar. Wheezy F, baby, and the F ain't for flaw. It's like I have it all, but I don't have to worry. Married to the money, a true love story. Only God can judge me. I don't need a jury. Nothing standing in my way, like nothing's my security. Back to my journey. That bullshit don't concern me. If I knew I was going to jail, I would have fucked my attorney. If you sleeping on me, ninja, then I hope you toss and turning. I'm so cold, I'm hypothermic. Ask your bitch. She will confirm it. Yes. Now what we doing with it? Keep opening your grill. I'm barbecuing with it. I know my shit already tight, so I ain't screwing with it. Some say the game is a joke. Well, I hope they get it. Okay, I'm walking on needles, sticking to the point. Yeah, the streets is talking. I'm familiar with the voice. I'm a gangster by choice. I hope my sons choose wiser. And don't call me sir. Call me survivor.
And I ain't doing nothing but getting my share, breathing this air. And Mac Mom's told me she gonna keep me in her prayers, so I'm gonna feel all right, and I'm trying to stay aware. And if you want to trip, then I'm gonna meet you there. To my ninjas in the game, keep the game fair. Players play, coachers coach, and cheerleaders cheer. I'm trying to keep the spirit when the ghosts disappear. Wheezy F, baby, and the F ain't for fear.
The F ain't for fear.
No, it isn't.
That really sums up a lot of things, but I'm sure there's some points that I might have missed.
I feel like the song is about somebody who has been on the bottom.
A survivor.
Yes. Someone who has seen the absolute doldrums and came out.
Katrina.
From the bottom of the valley to the highest peaks, and then looking back down, and the fear of returning to that valley floor.
Terrifying.
People constantly telling you that that's where you're headed, or you're never going to make it out, or that you're not better than the sum of your parts. And this, the tale telling you, yes, you are. You can do it. Honestly, I think If,
Very
by
uplifting.
Rudyard Kipling, I think If and this can almost be hand in hand.
Very good companion pieces.
Yes, yeah, telling you that you can do it. Sort of mantras that you can live your life by.
Yeah, one's from, I think you said it, like a racist Brit.
Yep.
And then this is a black man from New Orleans.
I know. What do
Totally different stories, same strife.
Absolutely. The struggle exists for everybody. It has through all over time, and people found their own ways to deal with it. And I think that's what's hidden within Dwayne Michael Carter's Nightmares at the Bottom.
I think you mentioned something about guns, whether it be guns or whether it just be like the grind and hustle that you have to go through, the adversities that you may face. Much like, again, the Rudyard Kipling If. Like, you got to be better than that.
I think it's also just so many parables of someone telling you that you're not good enough and him responding with why he is.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you have to take adversity.
And, to kind of like reiterate that last line, a lot of people say, well, life ain't fair, and neither is the F.
No. The
so
F
many
is not
things,
fair.
but the F is not fair.
No. Never will be, so just get used to it.
It kind of reminds me of like Kanye West, everything I'm not made me everything I am. He's kind of saying those same things in many different ways in this verse, it seems.
It's probably a continuing theme throughout a lot of rappers' lives.
I think so.
Having to overcome adversity and then
Yeah.
getting there and having that like worry of what if I ever went back to that.
If you ask me what like workplace has the biggest amount of player haters, I would say hip hop.
Probably.
So
true.
when you're facing player haters all your life, unfair. It's not what the F stands for.
No, it is not.
It was a wonderful piece.
Thank you.
Glad you read that.
So was yours. I thought it was absolutely great.
Thanks.
That was Obtuse Readings.
Another one.
Another one in the books.
Man, those were some great readings. I really loved yours.
Thank you. I love yours.
I thought Fuel was great.
And
we got Mountain Dew. That's the fuel I need.
that is the fuel that'll put holes in your drywall right
We also
there.
got these tamarind Doritos to really just, Mountain Dew and Doritos
Oh.
goes so perfectly with gaming.
I'm going to say alleged tamarind Doritos because
Alleged, yeah.
if you read the ingredients, tamarind appears none.
Zero.
It's literally just them.
It's basically chili lime in a different bag.
It's chili lime, but they're trying to get more Hispanics to eat Doritos.
Yeah, the chili lime was actually a way to get the whites to try it, but then they stopped because it was too spicy.
Yeah, too spicy.
This is
Shout out tacos for white
probably
people.
less spicy. One more thing I actually learned just today about gaming was that the Army has a professional gaming team. Did you know this?
No.
Yeah, I was just watching Attack of the Show before we recorded today, and yeah, they were like, here's the Army's official pro game sports team.
Whether they're playing video games or fishing in the Caribbean, them Army boys really putting the taxpayer dollars to good work.
Oh, yeah, they definitely know how to get it done.
Shout out Angel.
And we appreciate you guys. We really do. Anything else you want to say?
We do. I kid. We do appreciate what you
We
all
definitely do. Anything else you want to say before we close out this fine podcast?
I don't think so. I feel like video games is one of those things, like, I could talk about it for literal...
We could.
If you want a 10-hour podcast on video games, boy, we could definitely fill it.
We might have a Madden podcast coming up soon.
We may.
We
Something
just
to
may.
do about the video games. But
I'm excited for football season coming back, man. I can't wait to just
got
like
to watch the preseason
get
last,
up. Yeah, we
last
did.
week.
Yeah,
It
the
was
Hall of
great.
Fame. That was fantastic. I just can't wait to come home on a Thursday, throw on these mics, finish watching the football game, toss back a few drinks,
It's gonna
record
be
a
great.
podcast. Can't wait. with all that out the way, peace and love.
Peace and love, guys. I gotta do research to have like actual things, but then play with it. You know, like
Should read her wiki, just scan that thing.
Yeah,
you
if
know?
she has like a couple X's, like ask my exes and they'll agree. I'm batshit crazy.
There was, what did I do? I did that for lettuce, actually. I did so much research for lettuce, dog. So much fucking research.
That's to me. That's the ones you wing, and you're like, no, this is the one I need to break out the glasses for.
That's exactly what happened.
Hat on.
It's a shame I had to cut all the sexist stuff out of my ad.
It's alright. Except for her name. Yeah, all the sexist stuff's gone. What's her name again?
Breaking news. Trump supporter nearly in tears after finding out about Trump supporter home being raided. I thought it was Trump, and it's just the Trump supporter. It's like, I'm never going to support somebody. If your house got raided, I wouldn't cry over it. Like, that's like, damn, dude, that shit sucks.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
I'm not going to shed tears. Shit.